Today, I want to share with you some ideas that will help you to build a list of prospects that you can follow up with so that anytime you need a customer, you have them right there ready to buy. How does that sound? Should we talk about that today? Yes. So one of the common trends that I've noticed is businesses that have this constant flow of customers, they have started to develop bigger lists. What is a list? Well, it's a group of contacts that you have their information, you have permission to follow up, and you're beginning to build a relationship. Some of those people are very early in your sales process, some are ready to buy, but you have this whole system of follow-up. Well, in order to be able to have that system of follow-up and have this list that you can go to, you've got to have really strong and reliable lead capture systems in place. So today in this video, we're going to talk about 4 of the key systems that you should consider, and I want you to be asking yourself how well you're doing in each one of these, and we'll give you some suggestions about what to do if you're not happy with where you are today. So first, we're driving a bunch of interest in our business. One of the places that we drive interest is to our website, okay? So we go out and we do advertising. Maybe you're doing some pay-per-click advertising or whatever. You might be talking with people. They end up on your website. Either way, website traffic is a big part of most small businesses. So what happens when when traffic comes to your website? Do you have solid lead capture mechanisms in place? Or does the traffic come to your website and leave without you ever capturing? If they do, I'm going to draw a little trash can down here to represent the reality of what's going on, because you have interested visitors who come, and just because they're not ready to buy today, they leave, and now how are you going to follow up with them ever again, right? So that's one area, is our website. The second area, for some of you, this isn't the case for all businesses, is walk-in traffic. So again, you're spending time, energy, and money getting traffic to actually walk through the front door of your business. And I want you to ask yourself the question, when somebody walks into your business, whether you're a retail store or any other type of establishment where people actually come in, do you have solid lead capture processes in place so that when those people walk out the door, you've got their information? Or are they going into the trash can? Okay? Third one is phone calls. Most of us have some type of phone call traffic coming in. And I want you to ask yourself the question there as well. When people call your place of business, do you have a solid lead capture process in place? Or are they going in the trash can? And the final thing is, if you're out and about and you do networking or you do trade shows, that type of thing, I'm just going to call these outside leads, outside sources, where you're out actually having conversations with people. Again, do you have a solid lead capture process in place? A lot of people will collect business cards, right? So that's progress. But do we have a systematic approach where we're going to take those business cards, get them captured into a system where we can actually follow up? All right, so let's stop and do a little bit of an assessment here. I want you to ask yourself, how often are leads slipping through the cracks right now in your business? Okay, and by the way, let's just use some real hard, cold cash. What's really going on here is you're spending all this money and energy up here, which is ending up in the trash. It's easy with the busyness of the business to let this stuff not be real, but this is really what's going on. You are literally throwing money out the door when you're not capturing leads. Now, ask yourself this question. While you've been watching this video, how many people have actually come to your website and left and you haven't captured their leads, or walked into your store if you have a storefront, right? And let's make that a little more painful. Let's go back to the last year. How many people have come to your website or interacted with your company in some way and you haven't captured those leads? And let's flip that around. What if every single one of these was plugged up with a lead capture system? What would have happened over the last year? Let's say that you had 10 leads that you captured every single day. We're not even talking about having to capture thousands. Let's say 10 a day. You would now have a list of over 3,000 people in your list that you can follow up with. So the lead capture mechanisms give you really powerful leverage in your business. So let's erase all of these horrible approaches and let's replace them with lead capture systems that work, okay? So let me talk about 4 ways to do this. On your website, you need to be using lead capture forms religiously, okay? So you're going to put a lead capture form in place here. And what that looks like, lead capture forms. Okay, what that looks like is you take a section of your website and you put a form up there that offers something. And remember, we've talked about lead magnets. If you haven't watched that video, you want to watch that. And we're going to say, here, go request my guide on the 3 most common causes for back pain. Enter your email and contact information there and hit submit, and we'll give you the ebook. So you're going to put a lead capture form in place so that you've got every one of these website leads being captured. Okay? So we use lead capture forms here. Second thing is we're going to use a similar concept of a form. What's a form? Well, it's just an opportunity for you to capture data in a structured way. So if we have walk-in traffic and we have phone traffic, we're going to use our employees to do some of this lead capture. In this case, we might have an actual paper form, like there's some form here and people are writing down information. If you're a little more technologically advanced in your physical location, you could use an iPad or something else like that. But we're going to do the same thing we're doing on the website to capture the information. On the phone calls, we can usually use digital forms, and we're going to give you some examples of each one of these, by the way, in our Thrive in 25 webinar. But on the form, we're going to have almost an identical thing here that we have on the website. We're going to have a lead capture device. That's a form here, lead capture. We'll call this an internal form because your employees are using it to capture information. Now, the nice thing about this is not only can you capture information, but you can also kind of script the conversation that goes on with the people who are answering the phone to make sure that you're asking the right questions, saying the right things, and so forth. One suggestion, by the way, with both of these, sometimes you understand the investment that you're making here, but your employees do not. So one idea that I would give you is that you might want to consider some employee incentive programs. For example, hey, receptionist, each time you capture a lead on the phone, we're going to pay you $2 per lead. So they look at that and they say, holy cow, man, over the month, I can really make a lot of money here. I'm not saying that's the only way to do it, but the point is make sure that your employees are bought into this concept of lead capture and that you have the right incentives in place. Then finally over here, we need to have a business card capture system. With mobile phones and technology that's available today, this should not be a very difficult process where we're capturing the information and we're having a specific plan of action for each of those business cards. It's really easy in a networking situation to just grab a card and assume that everything's going to be, we're going to know what to do when we get back to the office. No, my suggestion is you have very specific approaches that you'll take each time you capture one of these cards.